Hey guys, welcome back. It's Firestar, and I got my KI Pro, put it together last night, and I thought I would talk about how that went. Um, got some. So there's the number that I got: 255 out of 500. Okay, now the packaging was interesting. I was impressed until I got to this point. This right here, for anyone that can't figure this out, this is your marquee. This is hanging on the side of a box. Everything, most of the stuff was pretty organized, but this blew my mind. This makes me feel like they forgot about this and was like, oh, okay, guess we're just putting this on the side of a box. So the packaging went from pretty damn good to this. Um, okay, this is just a picture of the HDMI out. Still need to find out what exactly is going on that you can't get sound when you output it to a TV. I think you have to go straight from the audio jack for some reason. Um, this is the control deck. I'm liking this because it's got actual room for two people. And She Lion's video, she compares it to like her Neo Geo, and it's like the same size. Uh, so I do like that. Talking about the control panel though, I mean, I will be removing the uh, the joysticks. I also wasn't so crazy about the buttons, but maybe it's the switches because the buttons are hap, but the switches are not. So I don't know. I'll probably be switching out the whole thing. I know you shouldn't be doing that on a pro, but you know, it's a bit of a cost to have a bigger version of it. The anti-fatigue mat was actually pretty comfortable. Uh, Feels pretty soft. I haven't put the chair together. I'll probably do that eventually, but yeah. Uh, then got a bit of a video here. So they didn't do a vinyl print, so this stuff is just scratching up super easy. I have scratches all over this thing. Um, okay. Thought I had the other video up. So uh I also had a video of like showing the screen, which was pretty maybe I can find that quickly. Um yeah. So the whole time I was putting yeah. So a little bit on that. So the whole time I'm putting this thing together, and because I had already seen reviews, I was like, "Damn, man, they did it again." You know, uh, the word I comes to mind is consistency, and usually when you say consistent about a company or anybody, it's usually a good thing. But in this case, it's not a good thing. They're consistently giving you poor quality. um, I don't know. I was putting it together and I'm looking at the wood. The wood's the same old stuff. Uh, I am liking the riserless aspect of it. I do like this form factor. I can see why people want this form factor. I want it myself. I would also like to get away from risers. And that was one thing about the packaging that I thought part of the reason I thought part of it was packaged well was because with a riser, you're kind of having two bottoms. You have your you have half a bottom, and then you have a riser that you also got to pack into this packaging. So I thought everything was packaged better. Like the whole bottom stuff was all together, and then it had, I think, some stuff from the top, but it was like it just felt like there wasn't this extra part that really, if you make a good design, you shouldn't need a riser kind of thing. So from that aspect, I really like that. I definitely would like to get this form factor in other cabs. Now I'll probably go the XL, route because I don't know if I'm ever buying another pro cab. This was the only pro cab I was going to buy no matter what. I mean, I bought this knowing I was probably going to get the cheap wood, that nothing was going to be the way a pro cab should be, but it was the one game that I was willing to do that for because this is my game. This is the game I've always wanted, and I will probably still try to have a full size cab at some point. I technically do in a way. I have a KI2 cab, but I do not have a working board. So, but I plan to have a KI1 full cab at some point. It's in my garage, the KI2 cab. Um, but it would become KI1. I'd get the print for that. So, um, so I went through a lot of mixed emotions as I was putting this together. As like, man, it's the same old stuff. It's just the same old cheap wood. It's the same crappy. Um, it, I mean, some of the stuff like it's hap buttons and it's hap joysticks, but it's not even the top of the line. It's the ultimates, not the competitions. Uh, so it felt like, the same old stuff, and it felt like I paid a lot, and I still think I paid a lot. I don't. The problem is people have been talking about pricing, but it's like they still have to make money. So it's like a lot of people are saying, "Oh, this should be 800," and maybe it could have been if they didn't throw in the extras. But like, I wouldn't have cared. I would have bought it without extras. But I do think this felt more like an XL Plus than a Pro, in my opinion. I think they have more work to do to honestly call something a Pro. Um, because this just did feel like an XL Plus. Felt like you're getting the XL format, you're getting the right kind of monitor, which, you can argue whether those TN monitors in Golden Tee or NBA Shack Edition were a mistake or what they were, but hopefully it never happens again. I hope they never. If they have problems of the monitor thing again, I honestly think that's like there's some things you can kind of let go, but if they better never mess up the monitor thing again. I think you're gonna lose a lot of people on that. But yeah, I still think there's a lot to be done. I think you should get better wood for a pro going forward. I think you should get competition. Like I should be able to just put this together and play at a competitive level with the best options. So I'm not sure if I should. I'll probably put ILs into this IL Eurosticks and the buns. People seem to be saying they are the best. I know the Hap is. It's this weird situation with the old company, and they bought the molds, but they've supposedly changed the internals. So technically, the IL Euro sticks are still better quality than even the Haps. So I'll probably do that. Yeah. So now, once this thing was together, though, it's a beast. I was actually really happy with it once it was one because it felt very close. I know it's not the size of an arcade, but it felt as close as I was gonna get to a full size arcade. And the screen for only being a 19, those 2 extra inches, they do matter. Size does matter, people. And yeah, and so I played a few games last night. I was pretty tired by the end because it was pretty late. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm sure most people that bought this are the enthusiasts, so they were willing to, they were willing to spend the money that they spent. So I don't think people are going to be quite as upset as if it was just a regular person. And with this being the only opportunity for you to get it, it's kind of like you kind of paid for that privilege, kind of in a way, because it's like you had to buy it or you wouldn't get it. So, and I was thinking about this because a lot of times, like, you buy a cab when it comes out, and then you're like, man, in a year, this is going to be half price or less. At least with this cab, that shouldn't happen. At least you know what you paid is what you paid, and there is no getting this for cheaper. So there is a bit of solace in that, that like, oh, I'm not going to be a year from now being like, yo, they're selling them for less. They shouldn't be because they said they were only doing 500. So there's a bit of that because I think that's a bit of the problem of getting these cabs right away. You know, if you wait, you're going to get a deal. And geez, in some cases, you're going to get a crazy deal like NFL Blitz. Some people getting them for what, like $123 or something. I could have sworn I've even seen maybe even under $100, but I could be wrong about that. But I know there's a lot of people that got it for anywhere from 150 to like 185, just over 200, 212, like, so yeah, if you buy a cab full price, and then I think that's where a lot of the problem is knowing that in a year you could get a cab for a crazy deal. And this guy just paid a ton of money for it, but so there is some solace in that, that this was your only opportunity and you shouldn't see this cab at uh a, a discount, and the only way you're getting this cab is maybe through some people selling it, and there might be some people that do it, but for the most part, you had to pay this price. So you can feel, if it's your game, I think you can feel pretty good about it. I look forward to playing online. It has a oh, it has a actual like LAN connection at the bottom of the PCB. Uh, didn't get the best picture, so it's what was the picture I got? Uh, so let's go back here. So as you can see right here, okay, so right here, I didn't get the best picture. But this is an actual LAN connection right into the PCB, so you don't need the USB adapter for this game. And the HDMI is right here. And there's your Wi-Fi, there's your sound, power, and mini USB. And there's isn't the best picture of this, but there's USB up here too. So yeah. Yeah, so okay. Now, another thing that didn't impress me was the sound. I didn't put the sound way up because by the time I was done, it was like pretty damn late here, so I didn't want my neighbors to get pissed off with me. Uh, but it didn't seem crazy. It definitely didn't seem worth the extra cost that you got from these speakers. There is a subwoofer in there, but I don't know. That part was definitely a bit disappointing. Overall, all I'm gonna say is they better. I'm happy because it's my game, but they better do better things with the pro line. I don't. I don't know what kind of success they're actually gonna have if they, because now it's like, yeah, you got away with it on the first one, but people are gonna be cautious, even if it is their game on the next one. they're gonna want to see like it actually be more of a pro, I think. Which now makes me a little sad that my game was the first one, because I'm like, maybe they'll actually improve down the line, but it is what it is. So yeah, so that's basically it. Gonna be replacing the joysticks. I'll do another, I'll do a update video once I replace them and talk about the difference in the controls, because yeah, it was feeling weird trying to play with the controllers that are in there. So I'll definitely be doing that upgrade. The marquee was not, yeah, I was a little disappointed by the marquee. If someone comes out with, I'm sure somebody will. I might do that upgrade too, just because, you know, now just to make it a bit nicer. But yeah, it definitely wasn't. It's better than the last marquee, but that's not saying that much. I still think they could have done better. And yeah, so that's about it. I would say it's not worth $1,000, maybe 800, but I don't know what their profits look like. I don't know, you know. I know console kits was talking about everything they put in, they have to make like 10x on. So I'm just like, wow, if that is true, that's a hell of a lot of money you gotta charge for every single thing you put in there, and like, yeah. So it's hard to know what their profits and what they, I guess, want to make on every product. But yeah, guys. So I'm happy with mine because I wanted it, but you weren't. If you're not the most enthusiastic person, I don't even know if you ever find one of these in the secondary market. Maybe you find it at a good price and maybe it's worth it for you. But I don't think there's enough improvement to warrant the cost. Okay, guys. So that's it for now, and I'll be doing an update video on the controls IL Eurosticks when I put them in. All right, guys. Have a good one. Take care. Firestar out.